All this brought about the crisis which we faced in January and February this month. This crisis, economic crisis in turn, led to political protests, first led by youth and the middle class, and subsequently taken over by more violent extremists which push the young idealists out. We witnessed two outbursts of violence. The second one aimed at actually bringing the government machinery to a halt by taking over all the establishment necessary for that fact. Fortunately, as the Honourable Speaker knows, the Parliament was saved. And now we've gone through a period of establishing law and order, because the instability of the economy on one hand, severe instability of the economy, with the other hand, the severe political instability, the loss that Sri Lanka has suffered on that cannot be counted. But now we're back again. And how do we face the future? The situation here is normal, and I will not be extending the emergency, and I think it will lapse by end of the week. It shows that stability has returned. But that is not enough. How do we handle the problems that we have? How do we go forward? I'd like to tell all of you, there is no looking back. There is no going to what it was in 2019 or 2020. We have to think. We have to have attitudinal change, as the Honourable Speaker mentioned. If we do that, then this country will have a future. Otherwise, we will become another Lebanon. It's the stark choice before you. Whether we like it or not, we have no choices in the solutions. The way we have gone has left us only one path to go. I need not tell you, I think Mr. Vikramaratne would have done, how bad the economy is. At one time, just after I became Minister of Finance, I found that I was richer than the Republic of Sri Lanka as far as foreign exchange was concerned. Most of you were. Because that day we had nothing. And I had $1,000 at home which I had saved from a trip. So I was more than 1,000 times richer than the Republic. But if you take a person like Mr. Sanjeev Gardner, he would have been about 1 million times richer than the Republic. So nevertheless, that was what we were. There were times when we were looking at getting $2-3 million just to pay off a bill. We are out of that stage now, fortunately. But we are not out of the woods. We cannot go on as an import-dependent economy with the balance of trade not in our favor. What are we going to do now? There is the short term, what you call stabilization. Well, we are now discussing with the IMF to finalize a staff-level agreement. And we are at the nitty-gritty. When you set the criteria and targets, 0.25% can make a difference between prosperity and disaster. But it means a complete restructuring of our economy. When the government sector falls, we must have enough money and enough income to fund education and health. A new system of education, social mobility comes from education and a health system and housing. Those are basic needs. So we've got to move towards the social market economy. Restructuring what we have, economy. Then the governance itself. Everyone admits this model has failed. Now, are we going to do the same politics again to bring the same model back? This is the question for all those in politics, both inside the parliament and outside. How are we going to restructure? It's not reform, it has to be restructuring of the whole system. So we are trying, as the Honourable Speaker knows, a new experiment. Firstly, all right, let's have the 22nd Amendment and pass it. Minister is handling that. Let's get back to what it was. If I am all for it, we are all for it. Then we are trying to make Parliament into a government by having oversight committees, by having a national council. The oversight committees will not only have members of Parliament, but they can invite 5 youth representatives who can ask questions from the parties with the permission of the Speaker, with the Chairman. While they cannot write into the report their views, they can have the right to put an addendum to the reports as to their views. Now that is far-reaching. No other country in the world has allowed the oversight committees for young people to come in and take part. So we have to make a success of it. We'll have other committees that will overlook. There will be about 5 committees covering finance. So they have to work together with the government. So Parliament becomes a government, become a part of government. And with us willing, invite some of the members of the committees to come for cabinet meetings. And the National Council, which will consist of all the party leaders, to see where we can reach a consensus and try and reach a common minimum program.